Okay, there seems to be some misunderstanding in which is the CDS version. I mean, is it this version for crying out? I don't think so. Yeah, it's got a theatrical version on it, but I don't know if it is. I doubt it. I'm not sure if it's this one. Can't say I don't like the artwork on that, and I don't even like the artwork on that one. Yeah, well, it's kind of similar to that, but you know, I prefer the theatrical thing. Look, you know, this is a tin piece of aluminium on the front. That's what the artwork looks on the back of the tin cover, and the same with the case itself. So I mean, which one's which? And then there's this pressing. And it's got that artwork on the back. I've seen another pressing that I've got already ordered. It's got a different artwork on the back. And it's got that artwork on the... I think I got the slip cover for this still, but I put the slip cover away with a load of other slip covers, probably about 500 slip covers or whatever, I lost count. And that artwork on the disc, and then open up, and then you got another second supplementary disc with that sort of artwork on it. So I've got the that version in the moment, so I'll just play the surrounds, turn it up loud as it can, so if the microphone on the phone picks it up in stereo, whatever. Okay, I pause that, put the next disc in. Okay, this is only a special edition version, so it's not theatrical on it as well. So I'll see what it sounded like with those surrounds on that scene with the other T-1000 arriving.
R31 David usually goes 6 and 60.
Yeah, this one sounds different. That when the guy starts talking, his echo is a bit more louder in the surrounds, whereas with the theatrical version on that pressing, it was a bit more distant sounding. Not that you heard it, I just noticed it just before I stopped the video. Anyway, okay, so I'll do the next DVD, which will be that one. So this is the extreme version. I'll be extreming back. Okay, whatever. So that pressing. So I'll see what it sounds like.
R31 David usually goes 6 and 60 range.
Yeah, on this pressing, the dialogue of the echo sort of effect in the surrounds is the same as the other. It's loud. You know, whether there was slight subtlety in any other part of the sound FX, but the one thing that's sticking out is the dialogue echoing in the surround. That's not a fault. That's an artistic thing, you know. So I'll put the next pressing in, which will be that pressing. Now, there's no echo sound. He's not echoing into the surround. Now that totally tells me that this pressing here is different, whereas this one, he had the echo sound, reverberating echo in the surround to give it, you know, like you're in an alleyway or wherever, you know. And that's what usually happens, your voice echoes. That was louder on that. Was it louder or fainter on this one? But it was in the surround on that one, as well as that one. And of course, the tin box one goes with that, the extreme. Yeah. Extreme, Terminator, extreme. I'll be back. Yeah, you could do a modification to this. Maybe cut some holes in it, put a little kind of clear plastic on it, and then have a micro thin white LED behind, or maybe a red, and the eyes will glow. I'll be back. So, yeah. Seems like this version. But to me, let me see if I get to a few other scenes in it. Now, I'm not sure if the camera can pick up the sensitivity. Plus, I've got my window open. It's hot weather at the moment, so usually I have the air conditioning on, but I've got it off at the moment. You could just hear the doors, you know, sort of like bump, as if it's I don't know. It's one thing that comes to mind with 70mm, because I asked one person, I'm not saying who, and he did the test reel thing prints for the release, the 35mm and the 70mm. Didn't have any knowledge of the CDS. But he did say that, you know, one of the people that, you know, did the CDS and that is sadly no longer here. So it's, I don't know, it's just one thing that just comes to mind. It sounds like a 70mm 6-track mag version, because don't forget, back in these days, there'll be things like magnetic track, and then digital was starting to come in, but it didn't get mainstream, it didn't go wild for at least a few more years ahead, because 70mm mag was still coming around for big movies, you know, blow up. So you got 6-track magnetic tracks. I don't know, it just sounds like the typical thing with Channel 3, Channel 4, where the baby boom and the split surround would be on, and of course track 1 is left, track 2 is, yeah, the part of the baby boom, part of the split surround. Track 3 is the center. Track 4 is part of the baby boom and the other part of the split surround. And track 6 is, I believe, a regular surround for cinemas that are not geared up for split surround or whatever. But it just sounds like, because I know the Dolby Stereo, which I got a Dolby Stereo CP200, it's got a specific crossover filtering that's sort of like, it doesn't cross over like that, but it's sort of like that. So it doesn't blend into well with crosstalk, so to speak. So it kind of pulls it apart a little bit, and so you get the separation of the split surround on the left and the right channel, or the left half, right half of the surrounds around the auditorium, that is, and then the baby boom. It just sounds like what I'm hearing is crosstalk. So I'll just cut to the chase. It just sounds like a sort of faintness of crosstalk. It doesn't bother me. In fact, I kind of like it. I would rather have something that comes off the bat and it sounds like that's how it was. Not that you're going to notice it in the cinema. because you've got all the other channels playing, and what you would get is frequency crosstalk, not frequency audio frequency masking effect. So you're going to get some other channel masking the other. You still get the, you know, and it's not like, oh dear, oh, that sounds disconcerting. It's a fact of life as well. We hear it all the time, audio frequency masking. But that's technical. But to other people that will say, I think you're talking Dutch, it's it sounds like noise or sound to me, but technically it's audio frequency masking in any case. I think when the gun is shot and the bit of faint of, it's like a little bit of baby boom, but it's not like going to destroy the surround speakers because it's at a different level. Whoa, whoa, that's punchy on the surround. That is pretty punchy. If I'd probably put the other versions in and then played that and see what it sounds like, it might have a bit more reverberant echo added. I'm just guessing. This is going to be a long video. I'll just play that again. This is just on the surrounds. Yeah, so I use left half, right half. So I'm playing this in the exact same signature sound as what many would have heard this at the cinema back in the time. I only saw 35mm at Tower Park UCI with experimental overhead surround in screen number 5. I believe it was being interlocked. I worked at UCI from '89 to about 1990, then left. And then lastly, as a projectionist, worked for Warner Brothers 1998, and then I quit projection after that then. But yeah, apart from you get video noise, and when picture freezing, you know, I can see all the typical digital artifact noise, but doesn't bother me. I'd rather have something that's got a legitimate soundtrack and a colour that's just about okay. There are some flaws in it where I can see where, you know, two colours are coming together and the video system that's recording it, and, you know, it sort of gets muddled up sort of thing, and then bam, there's a third colour in the mix, like mixing watercolours together, two colours, and then you get a third colour. I've seen a whole lot of that in a lot of movies. You see it in Close Encounters where you got white and blue, and bam, you get this sort of greeny, cyan, yucky colour. It's yuck, it's terrible. And it just washes out the rest of the detail in the image because everything's turned up, flipping, the levels turn up, and then they spill out and then wash out all the other colours around the picture detail. Particularly like the helicopter chasing the van, and then the floodlight most times where it comes totally right in line with the camera, and then because you know, it's just like anything. You get a hot light, got a camera. If you've got a camera that can adjust ISO, then you turn the ISO level down or something. Or if you take a picture outside and you might have some white mountains or white snow or whatever, and it's just still too much. Try sometimes using maybe the flash on the camera, which will sort of counteract and then balance sort of thing. It's trial and error. Anyway, so I think this version is probably the 70mm 6-track mag or CDS. I'd have to put it on the Spectrum Lab. I'm just monitoring one of the surround channels through the THX sound system, only monitoring the left surround channel. So I put the fader level back down at a normal level. Should be a gunshot boom in a sec. Okay. What they usually say, the proof is in the pudding. So I'd have to now check that with something else, another pressing, see what the signature looks like. So pressing I've got in is the Extreme Special Edition. And there's the signature. I'll just mute the cinema processor. And there's the signature. I can tell instantly that signature is totally not the same as like the other one. So the frequency response is totally different there. So this is the Puke Skynet edition with the theatrical version, so they say it is. Okay, what's the signature of the surround look like? Let's just back up. Just waiting for the gunshot. I can tell it's not going to be like the other version. Yeah, it's cocking the what's it? I won't pay too much attention to that little bit there. Okay, pause it, look at the signature. Yeah. Okay, let's pop the other version. I know what that sounds like. So I'll put this version back in, and I'll switch over to the video of the Spectrum Lab. Yeah, totally different signature.